Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder why some things stick in your memory like glue, while others vanish in an instant, and why sometimes the unexpected is what you remember most? Well, this new study dives deep into how our brains remember sequences of events, and how surprising things impact our memory. Imagine your brain as a super organized librarian. It creates these mental shortcuts called schemas to help it understand the world. Think about going to a restaurant. You have a schema for that experience. You get seated, you order, you eat, and you pay. This helps you predict what will happen next. Research has shown that our memories can be boosted by things that fit perfectly with our schemas, but also by things that are totally out of place. But what happens when the expectations are about when things happen, not just what happens? That is the puzzle this research team set out to solve. They wanted to see if our brains remember unexpected events better when those events break the rules of what is supposed to happen next in a sequence. And if all surprises lead to better memory. So how did they investigate this? They got a bunch of university students, about 193 in total, and ran 4 clever experiments. They first taught the students specific sequences of images, like a little story. For example, they might learn that a red square always means seeing an animate image, then an inanimate, then inanimate, then inanimate. They trained participants on these sequences, making sure they learned both the types of images and the order they appeared in. Then they showed the participants new sequences. Some of these new sequences were exactly like the ones they learned, fitting the schema perfectly, which we'll call congruent. Others were completely random and unrelated to any schema they learned, which we'll call unrelated. And then, the most interesting part, some sequences broke the rules. This is where it gets tricky. The researchers designed these incongruent sequences in different ways. Think of it like this. If your schema tells you to expect a dog after a cat picture, a congruent sequence would be cat then dog. An unrelated sequence might be cat then a car. An incongruent sequence could be cat then another cat, or cat then a car when the schema said it should be an animal. They presented these sequences item by item, and participants had to make quick judgments like identifying if an image was animate or inanimate. This gave the researchers a look at how the brain processed these sequences as they were happening. And what did they find during this encoding phase when people were seeing the sequences? Well, when things fit the schema, or even when they were just completely unrelated, people were pretty accurate and fast at judging the images. But when the sequence violated the schema, especially for specific item positions, things got a bit messy. Accuracy sometimes dropped, and response times could change. This signaled that something surprising was happening, a kind of prediction error. The brain signaled that what it expected didn't match what it actually saw. This happens with both congruent and unrelated sequences compared to the unrelated baseline at first. But then for the incongruent, there is a dip afterwards. They saw that coming. So this was a sign that the brain was noticing something was off. Now, after learning and seeing these sequences, the participants were tested on how well they remembered them. The big question was, would the unexpected, the incongruent sequences, be remembered better because they caused that prediction error signal?